Hi friends! Today I am sharing the best toddler and kids books. I think starting a love for reading from a young age is so vital to helping kids turn into adults who also love to read. We've been reading to my son since he was a couple of weeks old, and he will not let a single day go by without reading a book. It has helped so much with his vocabulary, the breadth of his vocabulary, his language skills. He had a language explosion at quite a young age. It's also helped a lot with his curiosity and imagination. There are so many benefits to reading to children and having them read along with you and point things out and look at all the pictures. So I'm sharing some recommendations today. I hope you feel inspired and pick up a couple of these for some of the kiddos in your life. Let's jump in. So we're starting with a bang. The first set of books I have here, there are quite a few of them. This is the Hello World series by Jill McDonald. I believe she is both the author and illustrator. I'm going to put them down because they are quite heavy, but these books are incredible. I love them so much. If there's one thing you take away from this video, it should be this Hello World series. This series has a number of different topics across all of the books on basically any and everything you could think of. So many topics. So these are, of course, non-fiction books. They have real facts in them, and they also have some really quirky and fun illustrations. And I tell you, my son has learned so much from these books, and even from a very young age, he was able to say words and things that we didn't even have around when I was a young kid. Like, we did not have a Compsognathus. That is apparently a very common dinosaur that they have since discovered. So he has learned so many new words from this book and all of the books in this series. I like the way that Jill McDonald has approached all of these topics. They have details, but not too much, and just enough that your kids are going to be learning about all of these different topics. My favorite part of these books is the very last page, where you will see a summary of everything they talked about in the book. So for instance, if it was on Arctic animals, then the very last page would show all of the animals that were talked about. And what I love doing with my son is I will say the name of the animal and he will point to them. So it's almost like a little quiz, and you can see what they have learned while reading. So it also has some comprehension abilities. Or we do it the other way around, and I will point to something and he will name the animal, which he has been able to do as he's gotten a little bit older. So I love the last page of all of these books because it gives that kind of summary, and you can have a fun little quiz for your kiddo. So if there's one thing you take away from this video, I wanted to show it right up front because this series is incredible and we have loved it so much in our house, as you can tell by the wear and tear. The next set of books I have here is actually a little mini series, kind of like a spin-off series off the original Hello World books that I just showed, and those are the Hello World Cities books. There's a number of them here, just like the original Hello World series, and these are by Ashley Evanson. I believe she also is the illustrator and author of all of these books, and these books are all a particular city and a particular topic. So they are big cities around the world, like Rome and Tokyo and Paris and London and San Francisco and New York, all the really great ones. And what I love about these books is that each of them takes on a different topic. So we have the days of the week, sounds, shapes, numbers, all sorts of different topics. And throughout the book, it will address that topic, but in a really fun way, showing all of the landmarks from that city. So for instance, here I have Rome, a book of days, and you'll notice that as you go through the book, it'll show you all the different days of the week, but then also talk about the different landmarks like the Spanish Steps, as well as the Pantheon and the Trevi Fountain. So it's a great way to create a love for travel. My husband and I love traveling. So before we had my son, we said, you know, we want to find different ways to incorporate that into his life. And these books really give that sort of magical fascination to all these little cities and get them excited for travel when they do get a chance to travel. So I love, love, love these books. And just like the other ones, these also have some beautiful illustrations. The colors are so vibrant and they printed so beautifully. So this is a great introduction to travel and cities around the world, while also learning about shapes and colors and days of the week and time and all those fun topics. The next set of books I have here are the Little Spot of Emotion books by Diane Albert. Again, she is the author and illustrator. I have the box set here, which has all of the introductory ones. You can, of course, buy them individually, buy an individual book. Let me pull one out here. But these books are great because if you have encountered a little human in your life, you know that these are little people with big emotions, and it can be a lot to grasp for them in their little worlds. So I love these books because because they tackle emotions in such a wonderful way. There's a little spot for each big emotion. This one is the happiness spot, and you'll notice throughout the book, in this one and the others, the yellow one is always the happiness one. So kids can begin to learn to associate all the different spots in this series with all the different emotions. And I love this book because it does a great job with talking about these emotions, and they're not all the happy emotions either. They have one on anger, they have one on confidence, on anxiety, on sadness, and all sorts of other emotions. So that's why I love them, because it's the happy emotions, but also some of the harder ones that can be hard for children to grasp and get an understanding of. They approach all of the emotions in a very, very healthy way, and that's what I love about these books. And they also make it really fun for kids to understand. Now with this one, I will say this is probably for a little bit of a more mature, older toddler, as well as kids, and into probably the teenagers as well. So I highly recommend these if you're looking for something to help teach and give your kids something to learn about all of their big emotions in their little lives. The next set of books I have here are the How to Catch a series by Adam Wallace and Andy Elkerton. These books are so much fun. I love them so much because they inspire a lot of imagination and creativity, and they're also full of adventure. So these books all have a specific character that highlights them, and they have some like kind of fictional characters like mermaids and dragons, but they also have some relatable characters that have to do with the holidays, like the Easter Bunny and also an elf. And then they also have some fun ones like monsters and yetis and all sorts. So my son loves these because he loves to see the adventure that the kids go on to try and catch these characters. And the illustrations, again, so beautiful. I love how they have depicted all of these characters. And I also love that in some of them there's some cultural aspects as well. So for instance, in the dragon one, they talk about the Lunar New Year. In the Easter Bunny, they talk about the Easter holiday. And in Christmas, they talk about Christmas things. So these books are a ton of fun, as well as adding in a little bit of culture. And like I said, it's really a fun adventure to try and watch these kids capture these creatures. My son has so much fun, and every time we read them, he acts like he doesn't know what's gonna happen, and he's always like, oh no, they barely missed him, maybe they'll catch him next time. So a lot of fun, a lot of curiosity, and just full of adventure and whimsy. We love them so much. The next set of books I have here are the Baby Classics books. So these are all of the beloved classics that we all grew up on. I knew I really wanted my son to know these stories because they are just so classical and should be a part of every child's childhood and upbringing. These have stories like Peter Pan, The Wind in the Willows, Alice in Wonderland, The Wizard of Oz, The Jungle Book. And as you can tell by the state of these books, my son has read these 1,000,001 times, and he asked to read them all the time. I'm still waiting for the day that he's going to outgrow them, but he has such a special attachment to these books that I don't think he's going to be able to let them go, which makes me so happy because the classics are just so much fun. No matter how many new things they come out with, I still find myself also reaching for classics. Just like, you know, this Peter Pan one, I think we have read this no short of 10 million times to my son, and anyone else who comes to visit in our household, he always has them read it to him as well. So these books are such a great introduction to a lot of these tales that all of us know so well and want to pass on to future generations, to our children. So they're so much fun. They're very nostalgic for the adults reading them, and these books are so great if you are looking to get your child into some of the classics. The next set of books I have here is the Little People Big Dream series. We have here Stephen Hawking, Mother Teresa, and then David Attenborough. These are just 3 of the ones that are available. As you can see on this page and the back of every book, they also feature all the other books in this series. And what we love about this series is that it features a lot of the greats in our world, both from history and present day. So we have Maya Angelou, Martin Luther King Jr., but also like Coco Chanel and Audrey Hepburn, as well as musicians like David Bowie. So just a breadth of different people. We love that it has such a variety and such a range. And these books kind of go into the history and background of who they are, where they grew up, and then what they did with their lives, and why they are so adored by the world. So it's a great way to teach your children about some of the greats in our world that have existed before and that are around right now. And they have a lot of great information, but again, not overwhelming, just enough for a child child's mind to comprehend. And at the back of the book, they also have some additional facts about the person, so we love that in case as the child grows older, you can add more details as they are ready to consume. So we love these books. Highly recommend if you are looking to get your child up to speed with some of the greats in our world. The next set of books I have here are the Pika Flap series. These books feature a number of topics as well, mostly about the holidays like Halloween and Christmas, as well as some animals and a loved one as well. These are the 5 that we have. These are so cute. I cannot tell you enough how adorable these little books are. And the best part about these books is that they are interactive. So they have these really fun flaps that go up and down as well as sideways and in different places throughout the book. And my son just loves being able to see what's behind each of the little flaps and learn all the different words. So the text is also interesting because it tells you a little bit about the topic. So here we have the topic of love, and it tells you what love is and how it feels. But then within the flaps and on the stories, you'll notice that they have also highlighted some other little words of objects and things that your child can get to know as they're reading. So here you will see scissors, paper, some glitter, as well as, you know, action verbs as well. So on this page, you'll see there's giving and helping and smiling. They all relate to the topic at hand, but I love that there's that added bonus of having not just the text for the story, but also some of the words that go along in addition to that setting or that place or that activity that they're doing. So these books are so adorable, and they're also really interactive for your child and helps them be a part of the storytelling process. My son absolutely adores them, and I think your child will as well. The next set of books I have here is the Little Blue Truck series, a truck that lives on a farm with all of his other little friends like the sheep and the pig and the cow and the horse. And our favorite part of these books is that not only are they just adorable and tell really sweet stories, but the biggest topic that they tackle is friendship and how Little Blue works with all of his little friends on the farm to tackle different things and deal with different holidays and different aspects of life, but in the lens of friendship. So it's a really sweet collection of stories that talk about how amazing it is to have great friends in your life and how working together can really help you be successful at different tasks and enjoying different holidays, and how lovely our lives are with having different friends in our lives. So we love the aspect of friendship that these books tackle, and Little Blue is just the cutest little truck, and the stories are really adorable as well, and the friends that come along in this story are so much fun. And if the kiddos in your life are anything like my son, anything set on a farm is a home run. Children just love farms and anything to do with farms, so just the setting alone is very sweet. And then the last set of books I have here is the Storybook Collection books. These are really great because they really pack a punch. That's why they are also so heavy, so I'm going to put them down. But these books are wonderful because they have a number of different stories within them. It's not just one story, so hence the collection aspect of the title. They have all of the classics. So here in the Disney Storybook Collection, you'll notice these are all of the stories that we all grew up on and a lot of the classics that we want our children to know. And then if you look at the Marvel one here, again, it has all of the great Marvel superheroes. The illustrations are just so beautiful and really kind of stand out in the book. It feels like it's coming right at you, so that's what we love about these as well. And these are great to take if you are going somewhere like on a car ride or on a road trip and you don't want to take a lot of different books with you. These are great because they have so many stories within one set, and so it's interesting enough for your child, and you can read different stories on different nights, but you don't have to carry so many different books with you. And they have a number of different topics, like this is the Marvel one. They also have the Disney and Pixar one, which is wonderful, and then we also love Christmas in this household like a lot of other people, so we have a Christmas collection one. These books are really sweet. Again, I wanted my son to just have the stories that I grew up with and be familiar with them. These are really great and really fun to have in one compact place together. So there we have it, all of the books I am featuring and recommending in this video. I hope you were inspired to pick up some of them. You may already have them. Comment down below if you have already read some of these or plan to get them. Thank you so much for watching today, and I'll catch you next time.